Hey there, my friend. Welcome to the Leadership Table with Chad Reyes. So excited to spend some time with you today. And today, we're going to be talking about exiting and entering a new year. And I can't believe that we are at the end of 2024. We have a few more days left to the end of this year. You know, I've been in business over 20 years, and every time that I think about, ending a year and going into a new year, it brings a level of excitement, but it also brings a level of, I guess I could say a little disappointment maybe in areas that I didn't accomplish things that I wanted to. But as we go into this new year, I just want to share with you from my heart. I've been preparing for this upcoming year. And as I'm preparing for this upcoming year, I just want to share with you some things that I've been talking about with my team, with my wife and my business partner. Um, it's all about thoughts and beliefs as we go into 2025. And if you think about that, why is that so important? Because I want to do things this year that I've never done in my life before. I'm hoping that the things I'm sharing with you is going to challenge you to want to do things you've never done in your life before. But the thing that I know is that thoughts and beliefs is what drives behaviors and results. And as I'm sharing this with you, my question is, what thoughts and beliefs do you have to change to allow you to become the leader, the man, the woman that you want to be in 2025? I know that there are things that I have to radically change for me to become that man, that businessman, that husband, that leader that I want to be in this upcoming year. One of the things that my wife and I have been talking about is how do you 10x your organizations? And for us, 10x, it sounds a lot because you've never done that before when you 10x in a year. But what is that? What does that require? And it requires new thoughts and new beliefs. And I'll just share this with you. When we're thinking about our thoughts and our beliefs, on average, we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts in a day. Think about that for one moment. 60 to 70,000 thoughts in a day. And more than 80% of them typically are negative. Now check this out. 95% of them are repetitive. Now, why does that matter? Because if our thoughts and our beliefs are going to drive our behaviors and our results in 2025, then to get better results, we need to have better thoughts and beliefs. So right now, my wife and I, we're going through, and our teams, we're going through this process of how do we get our thoughts and beliefs to get to that level where we can accomplish that organization, the growth in our organizations, the growth in our teams, the growth in our lives. How can we make greater impact? How can we impact more people with the message that we have to share? It requires a different way of approaching things. It requires a different thought process. And I just want to share with you today that as you're going into 2025, what are the thoughts and beliefs around leadership, around how you lead that needs to be changed, that needs to be tweaked, that needs to be challenged? There's a big difference between leading and loving. I know a lot of people that love people, but they don't lead people. And I know a lot of people that lead people, but they don't love people. You need leading and loving. And the reason why I say that is, and when you look at your leadership ability, what are the thoughts and beliefs around leadership and around leaders that you have to really radically shatter? Like, the areas that need to be shattered so you could become the leader that you want to be, so your organizations can reach the potential that it should reach. And in 2025, what are those areas? I just want to encourage you to go in and say, what are the leadership areas, my leadership ability, my leadership people on my team? What are the things that we need to do, to thoughts and beliefs, to change how we're showing up in the new year? And then how do we bring organizational alignment? I don't know about you, but I see some thoughts and beliefs around organizations where it's like, well, I don't want to have clarity around the full direction because it'll feel like I'm dictating. And I will say this, my friend, if you're not, as a leader, guiding people towards common vision and common outcomes, you are robbing people of their potential. So as you jump into this new year, I want you to think about, how do I get organizational alignment? How do I get my people? How do I start leading towards common vision and sharing it and communicating it very clearly? And then the last area is, as you have thoughts and beliefs, what are the systems and processes that are holding you back from the man, the woman, the leader, the business owner that you could be? You see, it is so powerful when you start radically transforming those areas. So now let's jump into potential. You see, because in 2025, we gotta get away from just showing up and being average. I don't know about you, but average is so overrated. I've been sharing lately that I see something that's so discouraging right now in our world. I see people getting comfortable with being mediocre. It actually hurts me because I believe God designed us to do things with excellence. And I see people that are like, well, I'll just show up and I'll just go through the motions and I'll just do the things that I'll just do the things that just get me by. You see, the difference between potential and average is potential doesn't compare to what other people are doing. Potential is, what can I do based off of the gifts and talents that I have? You see, if I look at other people, there's a lot of people that are doing greater things than I, and there's a lot of people that are not doing greater things than I. If I compare myself to the ones that are not doing as good as I can say, well, I'm doing good, so I'm good. I can start coasting. And if I look at the other ones, I could get frustrated because they're doing such amazing things, bigger, better, and faster than I. But potential is not comparing. Potential is reaching your potential. It's reaching what you have inside of you. So as an example, if you have 1,000-gallon gas tank, potential is not using 20% of it or 200. Potential is reaching all of it. And my friend, in 2025, choose to throw away average and choose to reach your potential. Because that's where you're going to have the greatest fulfillment. That's where you're going to have the greatest enjoyment. That's where you're going to give the most to your friends, your family, your loved ones, your colleagues, your clients, your customers. It's in reaching your potential, not looking to the left, not looking to the right, but staying focused on who you are and the value you bring to this world. So as we're exiting and entering into 2025, we need to shift from average to potential, from being okay with performing mediocre to, I am not a person who does mediocre. I'm a person who does excellence. So now I want to give you this formula for success, because it wouldn't be fair if I share with you about going and trying to reach your potential without giving you a formula. Many years ago in our not-for-profit, I Am Empowering, we shared it with the youth that were in the room, and then we refined it, and I put it into my book. So it's in chapter 5 of my book. And what I'll say to you is this. This formula sounds so simple, but it's life transforming. Let me give it to you. It's vision. I'm going to give you the whole thing first. It's vision plus choices plus a detailed plan plus accountability. You ready? The reason why vision in 2025 is so key is, if you don't have a clear vision, problems are going to get in the way, and it's going to stop you from focusing on what you wanted to accomplish. And what happens is, and I can be honest with you, right now as we're wrapping up the end of the year, most people are more focused on the holidays and the gifts than they are on where they're going in next year. My friend, I want to challenge you that if you don't refine the vision of where you want to go, then any road will take you there. Any road will take you to nowhere because you haven't clearly defined it. But a clear vision does a couple of things. I'm going to give you what it does. You ready? A clear vision allows you to say no to things that takes you further away from it. You see, when we're not clear on the vision, on the thing that we want to accomplish, then it's okay for us to say yes to so many things that will be a distraction. because we haven't been clear on exactly what we want. A vision allows us to prioritize correctly. And the reason is that priorities are the things that take us closer to that vision. And when we don't have a clear vision, then we don't have clear priorities. And then the last thing is vision will allow you to be consistent and persistent. You see, when you have a clear vision, and it's a vision that drives you. I got to tell you, I've been telling people more than ever before in my career. I've been in business now. My wife and I have been in business for 20 plus years. I've never had a level of excitement like I have going into this new year. And the reason is I've never been clearer on where God is calling us to go. I've never been clearer on the lives that I've been called to make an impact in. But without a clarity of vision, you'll find that you'll get distracted and things will take you in all different directions. So let me give you the next part. You could have a great vision, but if you're not making good choices on a day-to-day basis, all that is a dream that eventually becomes a nightmare. And why is that? Because you can't have a great vision and then start making bad choices and expect it to happen. I see that often with young men and women when they're in their earlier years. They have a dream of where they want to go, but they're making choices that take them far away. My friend and mentor, John Maxwell, he says this. He says, you can't have uphill dreams with downhill habits. When you have uphill dreams with downhill habits, you have something that I call a frustration gap. The frustration gap is that you have a dream of where you want to go, but you have habits that are taking you further away. And as you keep doing that, that frustration gap gets bigger and bigger. And good leaders, and as we go into 2025, shorten that frustration gap. Start having choices that are lining up with your vision, and that frustration gap will get less and less. Choices matter. And in 2025, let's start making good choices that lead us towards that vision. Let's go with a detailed plan. You see, we can have a vision plus choices, but if we're not having a detailed plan, there's not a guarantee that we're going to get there. It actually becomes a lower probability. So one of the things that I'd encourage you to do is to come up with a strategy of how you're going to get there. In my book, I talk about this plan ahead. PLANAHEAD. And it's a strategy of how you could go about accomplishing a detailed plan. I'd encourage you to pick it up, go through the chapter, read it, but you need a detailed plan. You need a strategy of how you're going to go from point A to point B to point Z. Too many people have this vision, but then they don't align choices and a detailed plan. And here's the last one. The last one is you need accountability. And why do we need accountability? It's because it's very easy. I don't know about you, but it's very easy for me to say no to me. It's a lot harder to say no when you know that someone's depending on you. And in 25, as we're exiting 24, and as we're entering into 25, I just want to challenge you. Find an accountability partner. Find someone that's going to keep you accountable to what you said you were going to accomplish. You see, accountability is not a bad thing. You remember we started this conversation with thoughts and beliefs? If your thoughts and beliefs around accountability is that it's bad, if your thoughts and beliefs around accountability is that people are micromanaging you, then my friend, you have to radically shatter those thoughts and beliefs. Because everything you want, everything I want, it's about accountability. And accountability to others, but most importantly, accountability to ourselves. Because without accountability, it becomes so difficult to accomplish anything that's worthwhile. And I often say this, that anything that's worthwhile is never easy. And anything that's easy typically is never worthwhile. So as you go into 2025, let's have a clear vision. Let's make good choices. Let's have a detailed plan. And let's have a few people that are going to keep us accountable, because I'm going to give you the science and data behind it. When you have someone that when you choose date, time, location, and accountability partner, date of when I'm going to do something, time of when I'm going to do it, location of where, and an accountability partner, you increase your probability to 90%. Now, I don't know about you, But I want a 90% probability, not a 10% probability. Make sense? This is the last thing before we wrap up for today. We're wrapping up the end of 24. I'm excited for you as you go into 25. I'm excited to see what's possible in your life as you get focused on where you want to go these next 12 months. But remember this. When you finish strong a year and you enter a new year strong, you increase your chances. You increase probability. Now, I know that we only have a couple of days left in 24, but I want to challenge you to go back and analyze your calendar. Analyze what you did in 24. Analyze where you're going in 25, the relationships you should invest in. I really want you to look and spend time. Because I can tell you this, the difference between leaders that are truly accomplishing things and the ones that are talking about things is two things. It's how they put time in their calendar. So you show me what you're doing with your calendar, I'll show you if you're real about your vision. And then the second is, if you show me what you're doing with your dollars, I'll tell you if that vision is real. You see, you can't tell me that you want to succeed, you want to grow, you want to accomplish all these things if your calendar is not allowing you and you're not putting time in to develop and grow and to accomplish these things. And if you're not investing capital, your money, your hard-earned money in developing yourself. That's why we created Lions Pride Leadership, so we could have organizations, business leaders, and help them develop themselves and grow to reach their full potential. But my friend, if your calendar and your checkbook is not showing up, then all it is a dream. When your calendar and your checkbook shows up, now it becomes a reality. And as you're going into 2025, I want to encourage you to really, really press in, lead in, and become the man and woman you were designed to be. Become the man or woman that you have the potential to be. Don't go into 25 the way you went into 24. Radically look at all of your thoughts and beliefs. And I'll share this last thing as we wrap up. Many years ago, I had a person say to me, if everything that you believe to be true was false, when would you want to know? Now think about that. If everything you believe to be true was false, I'd want to know immediately, right now. As you go from 2024 to 2025, look at the things that you've been believing to be true that no longer serve you, and don't bring them into 25. Let's have a burial of those thoughts, a burial of those beliefs, because they no longer serve you. And I am believing that this is going to be your best year ever. I'm believing that you are going to do amazing things this year. And just know this, Chad, Danielle, the Lions Pride team, we're rooting for you because I believe you have so much inside of you, and this should be your greatest year of your life. May God bless you. Thank you for allowing me into your life. Until next time. You're listening to The Leadership Table. I am so excited that you've joined us. Hey, listen, you want to join us in future episodes where we're going to invite some of our greatest friends, some of the greatest leaders we know, to share all about their leadership journeys and just add tremendous value to you and your teams. Hey, listen, drop a comment below on your biggest takeaway, that what is impacting you the most. Like it, share it with those people that you know need to hear this message, and subscribe. And hey, listen, turn on the notifications. I just want to thank you because you are making a difference. As you help us, we help you, and we just divide the work and multiply the impact. My friend, thank you for joining us on The Leadership Table.